Now we're gonna go through lesson 5, variables. So we have talked about variables before. So to give it a short narrative, so variable is a way to store some value in programming. So see how on line 1 we say var, so that's a way to kind of say this is variable. It depends on different languages. Like some languages you don't have to use this, like the var keyword, but for this we need to tell var and then saying like this is a variable and the value of this is 50, and we can use this variable like on line 3 we're using here. And you can also update this variable. So yeah, so let's check out what's the challenges. So it's a prediction. It says read the code below and make a prediction. Okay, so where will the circle be drawn? Okay, so you can see x value is 50, and then we are drawing an ellipse. Is saying x position, so this is definitely x position, y position, and the others, right? So okay, so let's see. So it says 50x, so this is x, right? So this 50 and y is 350 here. I'm checking here, so 350 is here. So our prediction is there's gonna be ellipse here, right? And the 100 and 100, so it'll go this. Let me draw. So the center will be 50, 350 here, and this 100 and 100, so here, and then the 100 is here, right? So it'll be something like this. Yeah, okay, so all right, okay, so probably okay, the center, okay, how to spell center? TRE of the circle will be in x position 50 and y position 350, right? So what will happen if you change the number in line 1? So if we change 50 to something else, it's gonna change, right? So here we can't change. It says view only, right? But if we change this x position, the x position, suppose if we do 100, the x position is gonna go 100 here. Cool. So let's run. See. So the whole dimension I did wrong. So the whole is 100, so that means that. Okay, cool, awesome. But our center was same, right? 50 and 350. Cool, that's what matters. Go to the next one. Okay, so there's a video. It's gonna say what a variable is to do, and how do you create a variable and assign a variable, and what can go into variable, right? So we're gonna learn them by doing. So let's continue. So this one, there's another prediction. So it says in which corner of the screen will the circle be drawn? Okay, so we have a variable called x position, that's 300. So let's put the grid on, and there's a y position, that's 100. Okay, so xy, so let's predict. So x position is 300, so somewhere here, right? And the y position is 100, so that means here. So that means it's gonna be drawn here, right? Somewhere here. So that's yeah, top right position, right? Okay, so we can say the answer is top right. Okay, let's check. It's here. Awesome, cool. Move to the next one. Alright, so this is a debugging thing. So we're gonna learn how to name a variable. So there are some rules. So it depends on various languages, but few rules are same. Kind of like you can't have a space in between them. it can't start with a number, and when you use it, the capitalization spelling must be the same. So yeah, let's try to fix this. So see, we have some error. So sometimes the error a bit ambiguous because it's saying missing semicolon. So it's thinking the program should end here, but when it finds a space, it thinks it's a new line. So that's why we can't. It treats next one is have a special character, like special word like var is fine, but the size is not a special word. Okay, so if you want to write the size of circle, we need to make it look like one word. So what we can do is, like in some languages you can do underscore or dash, or you can do like make this O capital, the size of circle, right? So this is one size of circle, and X location, that's fine. Second was 2 dimension, right? So this 2 is a number, so we can't use a number, right? So we can actually spell it out as 2, and then this D become a capital, so that you can easily read it, right? So you can easily read 2 dimension size of circle. If you like, it'll still be okay if everything is lowercase, but it's really hard to read. So we are doing this in the sake of readability, but in programming wise it will work. So another thing is, like, the capitalization spelling must be same. So when we use this size of circle, we need to spell it the same way. The capitalization has to be the same, like exactly same character by character. So we're using it here. So we replace it this, we change this 2 dimensions. So just gonna copy this, put it here, X location. See how it has capital L, but this one has lowercase l. Let's try to run and then see what happened. So if we run, you see there's an error. It's line 6 is saying we can't figure out the X location is. So we didn't define this language. So to the computer, they don't recognize it because it's not defined anywhere here. So they know about X capital location, but they don't know about X small case location. So if we change this, now it should work. Cool, awesome. So yeah, when you define a variable, make sure you use these rules. So no spaces, can't start with a number, and then when you actually use them, make sure you're using the same spelling. So it has to be exactly the same. Cool. All right, so let's go to the next one. Continue. So use a variable many times. So that's the power of variable, right? Like you define it once. So by define, I mean when you actually create it, like say var the petal size is 50. So that means defining it, and then when you use it many times, right? So the power of variable is, like, suppose you change your mind, you think, okay, I don't want it 50 anymore, I want it 60. You just change it in one place, and then other place gets updated automatically. But otherwise, if you're using 50 all the places, you just need to go all the places and then change them back. Cool. So different times, too quick to this, change the number assigned. So another try to find the size that makes the most sense. Okay, so we run it. All right, so this petal size red. Okay, it's just asking us to change. So let's try 50 to 60. Let's set run. Let's change it to 70. So see, when I am changing only one, like on number 1, every petal get updated, right? So pay attention here, it gets updated. Cool. So it looks good. I'm satisfied. I'm just gonna move to the next one. All right, so we have few challenges. Let's go through changing variable value. Okay, The program used the variable circle size, so that's the variable to control the width and height of the circle. So see, circle width and height, circle size is big enough. If you make it big enough, okay. So just simple one, we just need to change the size to make it big enough so the circle takes up the whole screen. So easy. So I think the aim of this exercise to make us understand like what happened when you change it here. So now it's not taking up, so that means we need to increase the number. So just go like a big number, should be fine. Cool, take up, and this gets updated when we change this. Cool. Next one. The debug variable name. So now I think we'll have a like weird names and we need to fix it. Cool. So x50, y 200. So we fill with a color, and then so we have some errors. It says x, so it's a capital X hasn't been declared yet, so we haven't declared it. So although this is x, right? So one is lowercase l, one is capital X. To us it seems the same, but for programming, like for the computer, it's totally different thing. So if we use lower x here, we need to use lower x the bottom as well, like if we wanna use the same value. And here same, we used lowercase y, so just gonna lowercase y here, and when you put this, it's gonna update. This hasn't updated yet, but yeah, cool. So let's run it. Looks good, no error. I'm just gonna finish it. Cool. So make sure when you define a variable, when you use it, make sure you check the name of it. So unused variable. Okay. So yes, it's defined, but not been called in the program. So in this program, we have 3 variables, but we haven't actually used it somewhere. So if we want, you can use it. See, in the places we are using 80, we can actually use the name instead. So it is this, yes size, yes size, yes size. Is there any other 80s? No. So use I size 15 here, 15, and then we have center 200. So back, let's run this. Yeah, looks good. Now like suppose if we wanna change the I size, right? So now we have 15. So instead of changing everywhere, we can just change it here. So let's make it 25, and then it will just work. Right, cool, awesome. That's the power of variable. Okay, bad naming. Okay, all right, so this is more text based, that's fun. And okay, so all right, so here, like when you see the error, you can see it's saying redefining of shape, missing semicolon. So as we talked about it before, so var is okay because it's a special word, so it's fine if you have a space after that. But if you have another word or variable, like programming doesn't allow you to kind of write this. If you want to write a text, it has to be within this quotation mark. So if it's not in quotation mark but before it has a var, it will accept this. But if it finds another word, it will start to complain. It will think it's a different line. So that's why it's saying you're missing a semicolon, because it was expecting a semicolon after the line. So for some languages they expect a semicolon, for some they don't. Like JavaScript, they'll expect you to have a semicolon, but for Ruby or Python they don't want any semicolon. So the error will be different for different languages. Cool. But for these specific languages they want semicolon. Okay, so that's why they're throwing this error. But when we look at this, we know there's something wrong with the variable name because we can't have a space in the naming. So if you want, you can just delete this shape and just leave the size because we've been using size in a different place. So now we don't have any error, so all good. The naming is cool. We just run it, works good, finish. Awesome. Okay, finished all the challenges. Now go to the next one. All right, so using the variable, the program can only draw a face, but the eyes are two different sizes. Okay, change the program to use the variable for the size of both eyes. Run the code to make sure both eyes are drawn at the same size. Okay, so we run the program to see how it works. All right, it looks creepy. Okay, so let's read the code. So we have a variable called eye size. It's 27. Cool. We have a background green. We have a face yellow. And then, okay, drawing the face. The comment is saying that drawing the eyes, black, eye size, eye size. I think that's the first eye. And the second eye, see, we're not using the variable. You're just using 10, where you're supposed to use 27. So we could write 27. It will solve the problem. But again, if we change this eye size later on, if we decide, all right, there's a variable eye size, we want to make it much bigger, then we'll have this problem again, because with the variable, this will get updated, but not this one. Cool. So now we're just going to copy this eye size here. So now this is going to use this value instead of 10. Run. So now both looks bigger. If you want to make it more bigger, so like use different value like 37. Now we don't need to change anything here. It will automatically get updated because they're using the variable. Cool. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so challenge draw an image that looks yeah, you just need to draw something. Just gonna skip this. Let's do this one, updating variables. So we haven't learned how to update it, so this should be fun. Let's do this. Okay, so far I've been ever assigning a value to a variable once, but you haven't a chance to update it. Read through the example and try to make something like this, right? So there's a variable x, so x position of the, I think, the ball, and the y position of the ball. We're saying it's a red, ellipse x, and then we're changing the position. So every time you're drawing something, so this is one cycle, then before drawing another cycle, we're just increasing the x size, right? The third one increasing the x size. So if we had a loop, we could easily do this, but now we don't have a loop, so we're just drawing the ball independently. Okay, so we have 3. So let's draw another one. Okay, let's draw another one. So we could do this, right? We copy. Can we copy? No. So x, variable x equal to x, the math block. Okay, x plus, so we're increasing 50, and then we can just draw the eclipse. So you can use this button. So we're gonna use the default dimension width and height because the other one is using the same. So use x, y, or you run it. So there's a comment as well. It says increase x by 50. So previous value was 50 plus this 50, 100. So now the value of the x is 100. So when we go to this one here, at this point x is 100. So it became plus 50 becomes 150. When you go to this point, x is 150 because we are using x equal. So it's not same as how we use equal in math. Like in programming, equal is a bit different. It's not saying this and this are same. Equal means you assigning whatever value you calculate here to this store. So variable is like, think about like a box. So okay, let me draw. Like you have a box, it's called X, and currently it has suppose 50. So when you say X equal to X plus 50, so that means, so I want to put whatever result I get here into this and update this 50 value. So when we do this calculation, we get X. Okay, what's the value for X? 50, and we do 50 plus 50, that is 100. And after this statement is saying whatever result you got 100, put this into the bucket. So remove the previous value, put this 100. So now X will be 100, right? So at this position X is 100. When you go here, this 100 plus 50 becomes 150. So when you go here, 150 plus 50 becomes 200. Cool. So this is a like hard concept, but as you practice, you'll get it. Cool. So all right, let's restart run. So we have 4, right? Cool. So kind of did this one. Let's finish let's do this one. So in this case, X is not increasing. What is increasing? Y, right? So the X position for each ball is same, 50, 50, 50, 50, but the Y is changing. For the first ball, Y is 50. For the second, Y is 100, 150. So in here, we don't want to change X, right? We just want to change Y. So what you're going to do is just do is Y, Y plus 50, Y plus 50. We're just changing the value of Y, so they stack on top of each other. So cool, awesome. So go to the next one. Here both are changing, right? So X position of this is suppose 50, Y position 50. So if you go to the next ball is 100, 100, 150, 150. So what can we do? It's we can change both. So this, can I copy a block? No. All right, let's grab this. So we grab the X and then we do the math thing. Cool. So we want to change X as well. So X 50. No, I don't want the var. Okay. The string. Okay. So math variables, I've already defined it, so I just want to update it. So X. So I want to change X position as well. And then variable, I'm just going to grab a bunch of them. Okay, I've used var here. So it should be actually, it's also fine, like if you use var, but you don't need to use var. Cool. And then I want to use this math because I want to add. So here X 50. One thing, this X plus 50 and X plus 50 looks same, but they are not actually returning the same value, right? For this position, X is 100. So at this point, X is 100 plus 50, 150. But on line 12, this X is 150. And then 150, 50 plus 200. So although they look same, but they're not returning. So it's tricky, like it'll be tricky for a few times you do it, but when you get the concept, it's gonna become easier. Cool. So we run it, we get this, right? Cool, awesome. Finish it. All right, so let's go to this one, string variable. Okay, so we have few data types. Like so far we did only use numbers, but you can use, like, you can store a string. So this is called a string, the text thing. And you can store boolean, just like true false things called boolean. We have array, we have object, and all other things, but we'll learn them eventually. Says string. Yeah, so the text, the fancy word for text is string in computer science. String. Cool. So you can say color one. So the thing is, like, I don't like this, the name of variable. So the rule is the name of the variable should describe what it is. So let's run the program. So actually the crimson is the bottom layer, so you can say layer 1 is more descriptive, right? So I'll just change this variable name. So when you define a variable, try to make it more descriptive so you understand what that means. Layer 1, I'm just gonna do layer 1, layer 2. Because it's really hard to see color for, it doesn't make any sense, right? Then like this color make more sense, the name of the variable. You could write like layer 1 color, layer 2 color, but I'm just gonna write this, and then now I just need to use this layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. Cool. All right, so if we run, it's the same, all good, nothing changed. But now if you want to change the color of layer 1, like suppose if you want to do green here, just layer 1 gonna get updated to green. So if you want to update any color, you just do within this 4. You don't need to change anything on the bottom. Cool. Awesome. I think we reached the end of lesson 5, and yeah, I hope you enjoy this lesson. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.